I'm just trying to see if this is a good angle or you can hear me. There's no mic on the camera. Oh, hello. All right. We're gonna try this again. And my fake fur, my faux fur is falling. Hey guys, so it's Brianna. Welcome back to my channel. I just posted a video with Ashley Burnett. We went to high school together. She also makes YouTube videos. Did a really nice throwback high school kind of talk while she did my makeup video, and I hope that you guys go check that out. My story times do really good on my channel, just in life with my friends and stuff. I'm a very into it storyteller because I just want y'all to feel what I felt in that moment. Recently I posted my endometriosis video about 3 weeks ago, just telling my story and about my illness and what I've gone through. This is kind of like a story that has to do with my health. It's not 100% relating to the endo. We don't know yet. I'm not sure if what happened to me had anything to do with my endometriosis. I don't think so, but kind of ties into it when you hear, like, when I get more into it. If you're interested in hearing this crazy ass story and just going through this with me, then keep on watching. So recently, a week and a half ago, I had a CPR class for work. I work with kindergarten kids where it's mandatory that we do certain training. 4 of us, it was me, my boss, and 2 of my coworkers. I'm the youngest one out of the group, I think. So I was the youngest one there already. So it's mandatory that we take this CPR class, and it was only 4 of us. The CPR class was at 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. I didn't think about it because in college I did paramedics and we had to take CPR and stuff like that. But like I said, I ended up flunking out of college. So I just didn't recall like all the physical activity it took. We started the CPR class. The teacher, he goes, if anyone has any medical conditions or anything that you feel like will get in the way, it's very physical, he said, all that. And in my head in that moment, I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but I feel like I'm gonna try because 1, I'm around my boss, and I didn't want anyone to think that I was saying that to get out of it or stuff like that. Boss obviously knows about everything. In this moment, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna just stick it out, because when you have like a constant illness or you deal with anything that just takes a strong physical toll on you and you feel like you can't do certain things, you don't want people to look at you as like you're a sad case. Like, I came there at 8 in the morning and I felt really embarrassed. It was only 4 people there and the teacher, for me to be like, well, I have a medical problem. It was like a group, auditorium of people or stuff like that, but to sit there with 4 people, I was just like, just gonna keep going with the class and just do the class and finish the class. And I'm like, I can finish this, I can do this, we can do this, you know? I also feel like that was something I shouldn't have done. If I can go back, I would have said something. If you know that you mentally or physically cannot do something for yourself, you need to protect yourself. Because if I would have said something in the beginning, I wouldn't have had to go to the hospital. I wouldn't have had to deal with all the embarrassment. And even though it shouldn't be embarrassing, because as people, we feel like we don't want to be seen in that light. If I get there and my boss is there and they're there, the teacher's there, and the other 2 people are there. So it's me, 2 girls. Well, I can say their name because I know them and I love them. So it was me, Rebecca, Melissa, and my boss. Okay, we're gonna start our class. We get lunch at 12 something. It's very physical if anyone has any conditions or anything like that, and I stayed shut the whole time. A while since I've been tested on stuff. I was reading myself on when he said that, and I was just like, okay, I had to talk. I was like, this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be hard for you. Like, I know you can do it, or I hope you can do it. CPR training started and it was mostly like PowerPoints and stuff like that. So it was just about, it wasn't just CPR training, that's why it was so long. It was CPR, first aid, and then the AED, the thing that they put on your heart or whatever. I can't remember the name. I kept having to remember. He was like AED, I was like ADD. He was like AED, I was like ADD. He was like, no, AED. And now I'm like, okay, when I want to remember the word, I say ADD, and then I put an E in the middle. So it's AED. I was just taking notes. There was no like, he wasn't like raise your hand if you know the answer. He was just calling you, and it was just like really like back and forth, volleyball kind of. Felt good. So we were just doing it. It was the minute that it got to actually like working on the dummies and doing the actual like CPR. You have to put all of your strength in your body onto your arm. Started doing chest compressions and stuff. Like, everything else besides that was okay. And then go back and forth from chest compressions to mouth, to this, to that, to that. like I started to feel winded. Conversation with myself, because I started to like want to cry, and I don't like that, because I feel like when people see you crying, they're like, oh, something like, you know, just something. But I wanted to cry because like my body was giving up on me and I wanted to do it so bad. It wasn't because I was crying because I didn't want to do it. It wasn't because I was crying because I was in pain. No, I was crying because mentally, like when you really want to be able to do something for whatever reason, for whatever, and then you can't, it's not your fault. I just feel like the way you talk to someone is important. And especially in a teaching setting, I feel like everybody should feel like they're allowed to ask a question and that their question is valued. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like people should be. I just felt like he was looking at me in a way. But that could have also been my brain telling myself, well, you're falling behind. Like there's something wrong, because I knew something was wrong. So just wait for it. I know I was doing chest compressions, and then my fingers started to feel tingly. But I'm thinking it was like tingly, you know, your leg falls asleep. I was like, wow, like maybe I just need a break. Like my hands just feel really weird. I had to go to the bathroom. He was like, yeah, go ahead. So I went to the bathroom. I got inside of the bathroom and I just kept looking at my hands because my hands were so like tingly. It's funny now. Like when I talk about it with my friends and stuff, I would laugh. But it's like when I think about it and I just try to put myself back in that situation, I was so distraught and panicky because of the fact that my hands were the way they were. And my legs after. So my hands were tingly. Had like, you know, like you get a cramp and your hand gets stuck, but no, like my hands were stuck. I don't know exactly how, like this, like stuck like this. And I was premature, so I was born early. I had a seizure when I was little, and my mom said that I was stuck, like my arms were stuck like this, and she couldn't move them. All I kept thinking back was like my hands were like this, and then I was like, as soon as this happened, like it went from being tingly, and then I wasn't paying attention. I was just like crying, and then I looked down and like I actually paid attention to my hands, and they were stuck like this. And so I started crying and hyperventilating. Obviously, after, if you look at your hands and you realize that you cannot move them, like I could not move. I could move my like my shoulders, but I couldn't physically like bend my arm or move my finger. It freaked me out pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna feel embarrassed about it. So at this point I'm in the bathroom for about 5, 6, 7 minutes by myself. I had my phone like next to me, so I found I called, I don't know how that, but I just found a way to call my boyfriend. And Ariel lives in California, obviously, so I don't know why my first thought was to call him, but the safest voice I could hear in that moment was him. So I called him, he didn't answer. I called my mom, she didn't answer. And the only two people I could think to call were him and my mom. And so I worked really hard to like find a way to call my mom. She didn't answer, and after that I was just like, I kind of give up. Like there's nothing else I can do. I got freak out, and at this point I'm sitting on the floor in the bathroom. So at this point I'm sitting on the floor with my arms, and then my legs started to get the same feeling. Now when my legs started feeling that way, everything changed. I've never had anything happen to my legs. I've had joint pain, I've had muscle pain, I've had all that in my legs, but I've never had my legs unless like I fell asleep on them or something like that. So my legs got tingly from like my foot, ended up moving up to like under my kneecap. When my legs started feeling tingly and my hands were like that, I was like, okay, that's it. So I found a way. Siri, call my boss, hello, and I'm like, can you please send Rebecca to the bathroom? He's like, yeah. So Rebecca comes, I'm sitting there and I'm by the door like this. I couldn't even really hold my body up. It's just, everything felt pretty limp, and I was freaking out. I want to cry now, but I can't even like process how badly mentally I was freaking out. Before like Rebecca came to the bathroom, I'm not gonna lie, I was just like, what if I die here by myself? Situations where I haven't felt well and I haven't said anything for a long time, like days I would go without. Well, I don't feel well most of the time, but like worse than I'm used to. I don't say anything until it's to the point where like I feel like I need to go to the hospital. I need to go to the doctor. There's only so much you can deal with by yourself until it gets to that point that you feel like you need to say something. You need to say something before it gets to that point, because then you don't know what's gonna happen. I should have said something when my hands were tingling in the room. It didn't hit me until I was in the bathroom with my arms stuck and my legs like barely working and laying on the floor, for me to be like, I don't want to die here by myself, God forbid. But this is what's going through my head. When I say it was freaking out, it's an understatement. Like I was hyperventilating. I could not breathe, and it got to a point where I was like, if this isn't gonna kill me, then this breathing isn't gonna kill me, because I just kept looking at my hands, and my hands were really freaking me out. And then she ran to get my boss, and then they, like, everyone in the room came. Any questions like, can you breathe? What's wrong? Like, what happened? And I'm explaining as much as I can, but I'm not gonna lie, I was screaming and just looking at my hands. You have coworkers you don't really exchange that much with, but In that moment, she looked me in my face, she held my arms, she let me lay on her, she wiped my face, she made sure everything was okay. She told me, I'm gonna call your mom, I'm gonna talk to your mom. Like, moment I felt really alone, because this is not my family. It's not people that know something's wrong with me, that have been there when I get sick. So I felt alone, but I feel like they felt that I felt alone, because I kept just saying I was scared, and I was, because I didn't know what was happening, because I'm so used to stuff going on down here that I didn't know what any of this meant. Ambulance took about 10 minutes to come. Before they got there, it was like my legs got worse. And they, you know, like they tell you to push your feet down, like put pressure. When the ambulance got there, the guy, he was like, oh, can you put pressure on your feet? And I was doing it, and he's like, I said put pressure on your feet. And so I was like, I am. Like, what do you think that I'm faking this? I would kick the shit out of you right now if I could kick the shit out of you, but I can't. I want to kick the shit out of you right now, but I can't kick the shit out of you. Simple. So ambulance got there. They gave me oxygen because they were saying I was not breathing, myself a heart attack and all these different things. I'm not gonna be able to breathe. I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna faint. EMT asked me like, have I had any procedures? I told them like the surgeries I've had. Then they were like, what medical condition do you have? I was like, I have endometriosis. He said, what? Endo. I'm not even in the position to educate you right now. You're a whole EMT and you don't know what endometriosis is. So how can I be mad when a rando doesn't know what it is, when your job is to know what it is? I'm freaking out, and then two, it's embarrassing, which we can all say it's sad, but we care. So obviously you're being rolled out. It's in Manhattan. It's like the Lower East Side. Everybody's there. The light is out, sun is out. Hello. Girl got her arm stuck. You know, like when you see an ambulance, you see someone going, like, people look, but people are like, oh my God, like, you see, like, what's going on? This man was standing there like this. I got a glimpse of him one moment. I was just like, all right, Brianna, like, you have way more to worry about. I glimpsed him again, and I was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, why are you staring? I started screaming, and I was like, why the fuck are you staring at me? Of all the things. And I was just screaming and crying, and my boss like moved over, and I saw him like stand in front of, like, couldn't see him staring at me, and I felt so bad after that. I'm not gonna lie, because you never know what was wrong with that person. Like, after I screamed at them, they still didn't move. They were still. This is what stressed me out the most. The EMT kept saying, you need to calm your breathing. That's why your hands aren't working. I am freaking out because I can't feel my hands or my legs. I could not feel my hands or my legs first. That did not come, the crying did not come, the hyperventilating did not come before the symptoms. I didn't say all this, I'm freaking out. But in my head, I'm thinking like, if your hands were stuck like this, and every time you look at them, you start screaming and breathing crazy, then that doesn't mean that that is what's causing it. That means that you're freaking out because your hands are stuck like Mr. Krabs and you don't know why. What if I can't move them again? Like, what? Like, and then at the same time, I'm thinking about what the fuck caused all this. I cover up my pain with humor. I've always been that person. I will always be that person. So I'm in there, like, everyone knows I'm going nuts. I'm screaming, all that. I'm crying, and the nurses are talking to me, and I'm just like, mid scream and cry. I'm like, well, you're really pretty. At least that helps. Other girl came and I was like, I really like your scrubs. Thanks. And this other lady came. She had a really nice ring on, and I was like, well, you're married. That's good. I made a joke when the EMTs got there. He was like, what's going on? What happened? What were you doing? Trying to be you guys. We were trying to be ya. I'm not gonna laugh about these things, then what are you gonna do at one point, you know? This was right before spring break for the school, so we had a week off. So he was like, what are you gonna do for break? The kids are gonna miss you, all this stuff. And I was just, in my head, I was so thankful that he was there, because I'm not good in situations like that. So they gave me a Razapam. I think that's what it's called, a Razapam. A Razapam is what they give people who have seizures and anxiety and all that stuff to calm down their body. So like my breathing, my crying, all this stuff that was going on in my body, it just needs to relax. So they were like, we're gonna give you this drug. You're probably gonna feel tired. You're probably gonna feel sleepy. Because my shoulder started hurting too. So I kept like getting these like rush or like striking pain in my shoulder. Do not let them give me pain medicine. And he was like, I won't let them do that. We're gonna make sure. And I was just like, please, because I don't want to sit here and have to just like relive that whole situation all over again, because I'm getting pain meds and I don't necessarily need it yet. A heart test. They took a bunch of blood. I think they took like 3 rounds of blood. Actually, I have a doctor's appointment in the morning with my follow-up with my doctor. This is basically like what it said. Nothing was on the mark. Like nothing was the way it was in the range it was supposed to be. My white blood cells was either too high or too low. My red blood cells was either too high or too low. My oxygen level was too low. Vitamins was too high or too low. Like everything was off. Pregnancy was negative. Not that we're surprised. And I was there for like 6-7 hours just laying there. So after they gave me the razepam and stuff like that, it took about 2 hours where I was just, my hands were so stuck and stuff like that, but I just felt calmer. I wasn't crying. I mean, I was crying a little bit, but I wasn't like screaming, nothing like that. I remember just the doctors coming in talking to me and just like interviewing me and talking to me. And then at one point the doctor came in and she was like, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm okay. I looked at my hands and I was like, I can move my hands. Sorry, like, I don't, it's just like, don't be sorry. Like, shit happens and we can't necessarily tell you exactly what happened to you. Everything on that piece of paper was off. Gave me fluids and stuff like that, oxygen, and they were like that they were waiting for it to go back, and now that it has, they can treat me as outpatient. They discharged me from the hospital, which is fine. I know, make me better, and I'd rather be home in my bed. Follow up, and then I have like a bunch of like sonograms and all this stuff I have to go for down the line that I'm like dreading kind of, but I'm happy to like finally just get my body on track and try to figure out what's causing all these episodes, because I don't want this to keep happening to me. The fact that I had this big episode and the fact that I couldn't even process a feeling, a thought, a word, even people freak out obviously, but if you could feel what I felt, I don't like feeling like that. I don't think anyone should feel like that. Anxiety is real and I understand that, and I feel like after everything happened my anxiety did kick in, but I don't think it caused it. If you keep in mind, you think about all symptoms, I've still been eating for like the past week, 2 weeks, so it's not on purpose. I'm nauseous, I'm not hungry, I've lost about 13 pounds. I can't eat nothing. I throw up water, do that in the morning, or I drink a juice, or try to eat 1 spoonful before I go to bed. It's small, but for me that's something, because I won't eat anything. Trying to accept the fact that I've even mentioned this in my endometriosis video, that shit happens and people are in your life to help you. Freaking out and I felt crazy, but I still had a sense of being safe because they were there. This is a quick little video. It's not gonna explain everything, but that was hard. And after that, mentally I had to take a step back and I had to just breathe, and I had to just tell myself like, you're not okay sometimes, and that's okay. You know you're not okay, say something. If you know you're not gonna be okay, say something. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if when I go outside tomorrow if something gonna happen to me. Like, life is short and it's precious, and when you have a lot of things that just aren't right with you, and that's okay, because we're all a little fucked up. How do I identify those things and how to cope with those? How to cope with my anxiety. I'm trying to cope with my health. I'm trying to not just live with it, but thrive. I want to thrive. I want my health to do good. I want I want to feel good. I want to love good. I want to be good. I want you guys to know that when you don't feel well, it means something. Like, well, I had a cold last week. I don't know if I could do this. Say it. Say it, because it's not hurting nobody but yourself. That when they were putting me in the ambulance, I realized that when I was yelling at a man in the street for looking at me, when I'm screaming to my mom that I need her, when the guy asked me, if you have a medical problem, say something. And I should have. I feel like everyone should have. So if they ask you that, it's for a reason. Anything. Don't be ashamed of anything, because it's you. You know? I sound so passionate about that right now because I'm learning that for myself. That's why I'm letting you know I'm far from it. Not perfect. But I'm working on me, and I'm happy about that, and I'm building the skills I need to be the person I want to be and shine the way I want to shine, and connect with the people I want to connect with, share what I want to share with you guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, any other video I have, let me know if you have any questions, anything at all about endometriosis or anything else in my life. I will do a Q&A if you guys want me to. Just DM me on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for following me and hearing my journey and stuff like that. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.